Hey y'all, it's me, Tony, and I had to review this episode of Potomac. The Potenka girls are acting a fool. This is episode 4, season 10. The girls were cutting up, so I decided to review it since it was juicy enough. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Now let's dive in because I don't want to waste any time. So if you've been keeping up this season, you already know Kay is on one. If y'all remember Kay is that girl who was like a friend of who beat up Ashley's friend or got beat up. We really don't know, I guess, allegedly. And Kay is on one. These girls that be friend of the shows and then get main cast, they act a fool. Ask Marlo, ask Shamia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. They don't know how to act once they get main cast. Well, she's deciding, oh, I guess I want to keep my champagne flute by arguing with Stacey and Wendy. So she's arguing with Stacey on the sprinter still, okay? And Stacey checks Kay. She's like, oh, well, I hope I don't get chin checked by you. I don't want to get chin checked because we know that's what you're good for. And I thought that was some good shade because Kay has been acting mighty aggressive lately. I hate to say aggressive when it comes to these beautiful chocolate women. I know not all of them are chocolate. I'm just saying like brown women. I know that we hate saying aggressive when it comes to these women, but let's be for real. Kay is aggressive. She's hostile. She's rolling her eyes. She's talking all tough and nuck if you buck. I mean, really, like, take that Love and Hip Hop or Baddies East, because this ain't it. This is Real Housewives of Potenka. But anywho, child, I like how Stacey gathered Kay. She's like, I don't want to get chin check. We can do that. And then here comes Ashley. Oh, that's too far. Well, forehead, was it too far when you were questioning Kay if her scar really exists from the fight that you helped orchestrate allegedly? Because you kind of had your hand in that pot, didn't you? You invited that pit bull over there to fight. And it backfired. But anywho, the girls, they get to their little horseback riding event. I've never heard of this event before. I wouldn't even lie to you guys. I have never heard of this before. I'm from South Florida. That's just not what I've ever done. Okay, this whole whatever. I've never done this, but but anywho, the girls step out. Wendy's looking good. They're excited. They're eating their food. Some guy is like hitting on Ashley, and it's kind of funny because it's like Ashley must have some type of sauce or something because the guys be wanting Ashley, but hey, to each their own. Maybe they don't watch the show. They don't know how that personality is, but she's a beautiful girl, just maybe not on the inside. But anywho, Stacey's like, oh, well, look at Ashley. Like, Ashley's already getting someone hitting on her. We just been here for 5 minutes. And then she's like, well, what happened to Josh? And I thought that was funny because, yeah, Ashley, weren't you just all over Josh? Now you're over here getting numbers and stuff. And you can date whoever you want to date, but stop with the fake storyline crap. Like, you're not dating that man for real. And you were just on Love Hotel, and they said you were kissing everybody on the mouth, honey. If I was Josh, I would have to spray you down with Lysol before you touch me. But anywho, Stacey asked Giselle if she has a man. And we already know that Stacey has some back tea about Giselle having a man because Stacey saw a photo of Giselle and a dude. So Giselle's like, no, I don't have a man. And they're like, oh, why are you asking her like that? And Stacey's like, oh, no reason, just asking. I never asked her about her love life. Ooh. Now let's talk about how Ashley got whacked. Ashley got whacked by Tia, child. So apparently when Tia, Giselle, Wendy, they were shopping together with Angel as well. I forgot about her, child. But they were all shopping together and Ashley calls Giselle and she knows she's like with all the girls. And she invites Giselle and Wendy only over to her home. Now, it's no problem. You can invite whoever you want to invite to your home, but it is a little bit rude to extend an invite and there's other people around in the mutual friend group. Like, you're going to say the invite in front of them. That's going to let them know they weren't invited. And maybe Ashley just genuinely did not know better. It could have been an honest mistake. Maybe she just really didn't know. Okay, that is offensive. Y'all heard Candace. Ashley don't have no home training, but it can be considered rude. So I guess Tia told Giselle that she felt like that was rude. And I guess Giselle told Ashley that Tia felt like it was rude. So Ashley decides to confront Tia about it. And basically, Tia is like, oh, well, that was just tongue in cheek. And basically, she's saying that's just like water under the bridge. It didn't really mean nothing. It was a little rude, but honestly, I don't really care too much. I'm over it. And Ashley's like, oh, well, why are you coming for me? Or you're shading me. And then she was like, I don't know what you're not understanding, but that literally was saying, I'm basically telling you it's water under the bridge. It wasn't a big deal. And I apologize, about, saying you're rude, but it's done. And Ashley, for some reason, that bobblehead, she does not get it. She's still trying to dig further like how she always does. But this time she's hit gold because Tia is not the one. Tia's like, listen, I don't know what you're not getting. Like, I don't know what's so hard for you to understand or grasp, but I don't know what no, she said, I don't know what you're struggling to get, but you're going to keep digging and I'm not going to dig with you and get dirty. There is nothing there. Whoop. Ashley couldn't even argue back with her because she had got clocked. Now, I forgot to also mention in there that Giselle and Wendy were sitting down, and Wendy was like, if you mention my name to Angel, Angel's going to talk about me for like 7 minutes. Giselle's like, what's the problem? Because I heard y'all went to the same like college or something. And Wendy's like, well, I don't think she graduated. I think something happened and she didn't finish. And then Giselle starts laughing, and then like Wendy has like a smug look on her face. And I'm like, I don't know what the tea is. I mean, if she didn't finish, she didn't finish. I don't know why that's so juicy. I mean, apparently Angel did have a career anyway, whether she finished or not at the university. I don't know, because she used to be on TV, like actually hosting and doing like journalism, and not just BET, but other networks and stuff. So I don't know what that was for. I don't know if that was, but I do understand Wendy having a problem with Angel because Angel has been coming for Wendy. So anywho, guys, Jazzy comes. If y'all remember Jazzy, she was the one who was dating the football player who might have had kids on her while they were together, allegedly. It seems like it, but she's saying that one of them wasn't. Girl, if y'all remember that mess from last season. Well, anywho, Jazzy pulls up. For the most part, everyone is happy to see her except for Kay. And Ashley asks Kay, like, hey, I noticed when Jazzy came, your energy kind of changed. And Kay's like, yeah, well, me and her, we had beef, or her, she had a problem with me or something, or she was talking about me to Wendy. And she basically, y'all know how Ashley is. Ashley will run something back. So Kay gets ahead of her and she's like, Jazzy, come here. But I don't like that, okay? If you're going to have a conversation, come correct. Don't just like whisk someone over. Come here like you're beckoning her like she's a pet. I don't think so. I think that the proper way to engage with another grown adult, hey, would you mind coming over for a second so we can talk? Or you come to her. Don't call her over like she's a dog. That's what I mean when Kay's very aggressive. The way she speaks is horrible. But anywho, Jazzy comes over, Bose's on over with her little happy self. Y'all know Jazzy likes to put on, child. But Jazzy comes over. She's like, yeah, we have a problem. Wendy told me that you were talking about me. And Wendy's like, hold on. Because first of all, the first lady is here, the first lady of Maryland. They all stop, say hi to the woman of Maryland. First woman of Maryland. First lady, my bad. But anywho, they speak to the first lady of Maryland. And then we get like a little small message from Bravo. I guess she didn't want to be filmed on Bravo. And I don't blame her, because those Patanka girls are out of hand. I wouldn't want to be filmed with them either. Especially if my husband was the governor. Girl, please. I ain't getting on there couldn't fool with y'all. You got Giselle acting like a little mini devil. Ashley doing Satan's work. And, Wendy allegedly stealing. It's too much going. I wouldn't want to be Kay busting people up the head. I wouldn't want to film with them either. But sorry. Potanka. I didn't even mention Karen and the DUIs. But anywho, guys, let me focus. Jazzy's like, oh, well, I never said that. And Wendy's like, oh, well, when I asked you if Kay was going to be at some award show, you were like, So I just kind of asked. I'm like, oh, well, something must be off. And that's all I said. And Jazzy and Kay somehow, even though, like, okay, it wasn't supposed to be an issue, it seems like an issue because out of nowhere, these two start arguing and they're just shading each other. Jazzy's like, well, I know you're going through a lot with Greg. Ooh, y'all remember Greg was treating Kay like trash last season. I mean, this girl, ooh, she's too pretty for him. He was treating her horrible on TV. So Kay is like, oh, don't talk about me and my man. Don't worry about us. You're the one that's you're the one that's getting married to a guy that had 2 kids on you. Ooh, well, that wasn't good. I don't know. I feel like they both kind of canceled each other out. I mean, they started going back and forth. I mean, ho this, you ho, like, no, you was the side chick. No, I'm a fiance, something you'll never be. Ooh, well, hold on now. Hold on. Okay. I mean, Jazzy had to get carried away a little bit, not like carried away, like escorted out, because she's a little classy, I will say that. But they were like, okay, let's just, separate. Let's just call it a day. Jazzy's like kind of walked away by her friends. And while Jazzy's getting walked away, she's like, oh, well, I'd be mad too if all I got was a condo and it wasn't even paid for by him. And if y'all remember, just last season, Kay thought that she was going to be getting engaged. She thought that her and Greg were going to be building a home together and living together in a nice, beautiful, newly built home. Well, I guess none of that worked out. They are still together, but they are not engaged, and they do not live in no newly built home. They are in a condo, in Kay's condo at that. So it's kind of... I bet that stung a bit for Kay. Honestly, I bet that stung because one thing about it, Jazzy's man may have cheated in the past and had a baby or two, but we all know Jazzy ain't paying for nothing. Okay? So I don't know. I feel like those two really dug at each other. And this is another thing I wanted to point out about Kay being aggressive. When Jazzy's going, Kay's like, oh, well, don't shift me out of my element. Like, I'm trying to work on myself. I'm trying to change. Like, basically, she was saying, like, she said, oh, I'm having flashbacks. This took me somewhere. I'm trying to change. And I'm just thinking she meant that in an aggressive way. Seriously. She meant that as in, oh, well, this girl is about to get it. Like, I'm trying to not put my hands on you. And the reason I dissected it that way is because this whole season so far, we're 4 episodes in, Kate has been popping it. She's been talking trash. She's been knucking if you're bucking type, She's been doing everything but putting her hands on anyone yet. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay? But when she said that with Jess, she said, oh, I'm getting flashbacks. I'm trying to change. What are you trying to change? Because you're not changing how calm you are because you've been popping off on pretty much the people who haven't done nothing to you. So when she said, oh, I'm trying to change, this gave me flashbacks, the way Ashley and Giselle kind of chuckled and snickered and gave like a little look, she was talking about that fight. She was saying she's trying not to put her hands on nobody. Now, y'all can believe me if y'all want to believe me or not. But as someone who I consider myself like pretty much around the way. I'm from, I don't want to say the hood, but I guess I kind of am from the hood pretty much. I hate claiming it, but it is what it is. That's what she was talking about because Jazzy got under her skin. She's the first person this season to match Kay's energy. Everyone else has been trying to like dismantle her calmly or elegantly, aka Wendy and Stacy. But Jazzy is the first person to just straight up tell her about herself, matching her energy. And Kay didn't like that. Guys, something is wrong with Kay. I don't know if she's always been this way or if we're just now seeing it, but something is wrong with Kay this season. She is aggressive and upset, angry, bitter, like every single negative synonym you want to give. I mean, she's all of that. And it's very hostile. I'm not an Ashley fan, but I would rather have Ashley on the show than Kay at this point. Kay is just She's just like a negative orb. Just there's nothing good. And Angel just wants to be Kay's little puppet this season because Tia's like, oh, is she coming on holiday with us? Girl, just say, is she going on the dang trip with y'all? The trip that Giselle is planning. Just say that, talking about some damn holiday. But anywho, child, Kay is like, ugh, like just grumpy, and Angel's like, can we just bring Charisse? I like Charisse a lot. Girl, what? You don't even know Jazzy. You don't even know Charisse. Just because your friend has an issue with Jazzy doesn't mean that you do too. You need to calm down. Stop trying to be someone's lapdog. You're going outside and you're going to end up just like Shamia and Portia. So next up, we have the girls. They are flying to Nevis and St. Kitts. I am excited. My dad, my aunts, my whole dad's side of the family, they're from the islands. My dad is from St. Kitts, so this is pretty exciting for me. Anywho, guys, they have Jazzy coming. I'm excited Jazzy is coming because we all know she been going back and forth with Kay, and someone has to get that animal in the cage, honey, because Kay is out of control. But anywho, guys, Jazzy's coming. I guess because she got like a last minute invite, and we all know that's pretty much production, last minute invite. She had to sit in like economy while the girls had first class. And I really didn't like that for Jazzy. I actually hate that for her because she was on the back of the plane by herself. She had to get off the plane last while all the girls got to get off first. And they had to wait like 30 minutes for her to get off the plane because she was like all the way in the back. And I'm like, girl, I would have put my foot down on that one because they would never treat me like a second class citizen. Not gonna happen. Child, and Giselle mentions that this trip is also going to be like a bachelorette party for Jazzy since she is getting married. And that's pretty exciting. It's fun. I'm glad that they're doing that because let's bring some fun times to the group. But y'all should see Kay's face all twisted up like a bop it, pull it, twist it, shout it. Kay's face is all twisted up. I'm like, girl, you better stop that because if you want to be married so bad, you need to be patient and wait on your turn and not hate when other people are getting married. It don't matter if you dislike the person or not. Just be happy for them, okay? Because you'll want people to be happy for you too, even though nobody likes Greg. So Angel gets stopped, guys. Right now, they are waiting to get on their boat because if you know, you know, with these islands, you can't just like fly directly. Sometimes you have to actually take a boat. You fly to the largest island and then you take the boat to the smaller islands, guys. So they're waiting to get on their boat. They have to go through customs, of course. And then Angel gets stopped, guys, because she has a camouflage backpack. I don't know why she has a camouflage backpack. I mean, you're on a girls' trip, not a camping trip. That's not cute. And for two, there are rules. And apparently, Ashley said that they all had the rules in fine print. You cannot bring camouflage. You cannot wear camouflage. It is completely illegal. So why didn't you pay attention? Now, what's her name? Angel's like, oh, well, someone's putting bad juju on me. Girl, no, your ass, you just didn't read. That's for one. For two, is it just me? I could be wrong. Is it just me or was that supposed to be like a little shade towards Wendy? Because y'all know everybody was accusing Wendy's mom of witchcraft and stuff. I'm like, girl, what do you mean someone's putting something bad on you? You just did not read. So on the boat ride to the island, I mean Giselle. Giselle is like asking Angel, you know, how she feels about Jazzy since Angel was pretty much the one who didn't want Jazzy to come along with Kay. And Angel's like, oh, well, I don't remember saying that. I don't think I said that. Girl, you and freaking Kay need to take some vitamins because y'all don't remember nothing shady that y'all say. But anywho, guys, Jazzy's like, well, what didn't you want on me on the trip? And then Wendy's like, well, weren't you throwing shade about the husbands? Because when she mentioned her husband played football, you were like, oh, your husband started for 10 years. And basically, like you were kind of implying that Jazzy's husband may be a bench warmer. She didn't say that last part, but that's what she was basically insinuating. And a producer asks Angel in the confessional, are you saying that Jazzy is a wag? A wag is a wife and girlfriend to a football player. She's like, are you saying that Jazzy is a wag to a bench warmer? And Angel's like laughing. She's being smug. She's like, well, there's different types of football players, but I guess every player just adds something to the team. And then she just bursts out laughing. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't know. That's kind of corny to me. At the end of the day, both y'all have NFL husbands, so I mean, really. I mean, it's hard to get drafted. These men are blessed. They were able to get on the field and make a team. I mean, I wouldn't do too much. It ain't your career. It's your husband's career. He could leave you tomorrow if he wanted to. And I hope that don't happen because they have a beautiful family. But I'm just saying, like, don't do too much because karma has a weird way of biting us sometimes. So Stacy generally asks Angel on the boat. She's like, "Are you able to be friends with people who do not enjoy Kay? Like, are you able to give those friendships a try? Because it kind of seems like you're really here to be just Kay's friend." But she says it in a nice way, and everyone is pretty much agreeing. Like, yeah, like you don't want to just seem like you're here for this Kay only. Like, are you able to get to know the rest of the girls? And Angel's like, yeah, I can do that, but honestly, it's coming off mad fake. Um, Case like, I'm not fake. And then Jazzy, somehow they start getting into it. They're over here putting each other's hands in their faces and going back and forth. And I'm like, I don't play like that, especially not on no boat, because I can literally see someone going overboard. And honestly, I wouldn't just meet my comfort level. I don't like that. I don't want no one to end up in the water. You might get knocked off a boat and land up in a shark's mouth. I don't know what's going to happen. So just stay calm. Y'all give each other some feet and let space be space. What's the point of arguing in each other's face on a boat? It's not a small boat either. Ain't no cruise ship. I mean, you could easily, if you get mad enough, you could turn to the Hulk and punch that girl off the boat. But anywho, they're going back and forth. Hold this, hold that, and oh well, you're the one that was a side chick. Kay is telling Jazzy that she was a side chick. And I'm like, ooh, like this is just not good for these two. Like they are just matching each other. And Kay's like, oh, I just need to cool down. So the girls are just enjoying the boat ride. And Kay's like off to herself, looking miserable and bitter. And Angel's just sitting beside her, like, why not mingle with the other woman? We thought that was the point of you coming on a girls trip, to mingle. What's the point of you even joining the show if you're not going to be on the cast? You're just under K. Girl. So I don't know if Giselle picked out the vacation house by herself, but it's a nice house. The girls are paired up. And they're paired up in good duos. Like it's Wendy, Jazzy, and Stacy, and then Ashley and Giselle are sharing their own little villa. What's her name? Angel and Kay are sharing. So, they're pretty much doubled up, bunkered up. And it's pleasant, right? Cool. Well, check this out. Giselle puts little gifts in each room for the girls. She gives them flowers, like a little gift bag, like a beauty bag with their own like personalized names and initials on them. And she even gives them a cute little pink robe with their names on it. Everyone gets one and a beautiful card. Giselle is actually being super sweet. Everyone gets one except Stacy. And you can tell Stacy's feelings were kind of hurt. I don't know why Giselle and Ashley are attacking. Oh, and Kay. I don't know why they are deciding to attack Stacy for no reason, but it's definitely coming off like mean girl high school behavior, and it's not cute. And you can definitely tell that Stacy was kind of offended. Like she did look a little bit sad. She's like, wow, like this girl really doesn't like me. Yeah. And then what I don't like, I'm gonna have to clock Wendy one time. Wendy was like kind of giggling about it. Like she didn't really take it serious. She's like, haha, but it's like you could have been like, oh man, I'm sorry about that. Just have a little bit of empathy, especially when you know what it feels like to be, in Giselle's storm of a personality. But then Wendy has nerve to say, oh, well, I know what it's like to be, attacked by Giselle, but, I'm just glad that it's not me. And she just bursts out laughing. And I'm like, are you okay, Wendy? That was corny. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. Because now you're just giving what people think that you were giving, which means you just want to be in Giselle's good graces. So this little quick scene before the final scene, guys, I had to point out real quickly. Tia's son FaceTimed her and he's like, I hate this family. They made me clean up. I want to be adopted. He's just like throwing a tantrum over cleaning up. And I'm like, why is this okay? Honey, if you don't let him know to stop all that and cut it out, is it just me or do the kids nowadays be getting carried away? And I know kids talk crazy, but I'm just not okay with that. I'm not ready for that. I don't know if all kids talk like that when they get a certain age, but baby, I am not having that. This next scene should be called Angel for Dinner. They were having dinner, but you would think Angel was for dinner the way that she pretty much got ate up by most of the table. Almost. So, listen. Stacy asks Kay if her and Greg are still together. Obviously, they still together if the man was at her condo. But Kay's like, yeah, but she's saying it in such like a monotone, like rude tone. It's like, are you okay? And then she's like, yeah, and you were asking me about Angel. And Angel's like, oh, what? Like Angel sits up and she's like ready to dang attack like the little lapdog she is. And then what's her name? Kay is like, oh, well, I think that Stacy was checking on you in a good way. And Stacy was like, yeah, because, you seem like, you just didn't seem comfortable. You seem like it's just a lot going on, or it's kind of hard to get to know you because you're pretty much under Kay all the time. And then what's her name? Angel's like, yeah, well, you guys will get to know me, but it's just gonna take time. I'm just not the type of person that's easy to like engage with other people that I don't know. Well, honey, why are you on the show? Just say you don't want to be on the show. Like you want to check, but you don't want to do the work. Like you feel like you owe your friend because she helped you get on. Just say that. But anywho, here goes Giselle, straight up messy with no caring to keep her in check either. So Giselle is like, oh, well, I had a question, Angel. Like, I saw a picture of you and it didn't look like you. It looked like someone else's head and a whole different body. Like, it just didn't even look like you. I was like, who is that person? And immediately there's laughter, especially from Wendy. Now, a lot of people were offended. They're like, why is Wendy laughing when Wendy has done stuff to her body to change the way she looks? That's true, but Wendy should be allowed to laugh. Angel has been messing with her the past 4 episodes. So Wendy's laughing, Angel's like, that is me. That's not an edited photo. Production is shady. They showed a photo, girl, Angel, that ain't you. I don't know whose face that is, but I gotta ask Space Tune. That ain't you. And that's okay. You did a little tweaking and beeping, but that ain't it. And Giselle was just saying it did not look like you. And honestly, Giselle is older. She probably really was confused when she saw that. But the tape was like, hoo. And then Tia's like, well, she did have a baby. She had a baby 19 months ago. Girl, either way. Now, Giselle is calling Angel out for catfishing. And instead of Angel even being a tad bit annoyed with Giselle, somehow she's bringing it back to Wendy, throwing shade at Wendy, talking about, people had to get plastic surgery to make themselves look like a permanent filter. And when that was in her confessional, by the way. But Wendy notices how the energy is different when Giselle and the other girls are like, coming on to Angel. And Wendy says to Stacy, you see what I mean? How the energy is different. And then here goes Kay barking up like, someone get this damn pit bull a treat, because she is so angry and vicious. She's like sitting up. She's like, say it, Wendy. Say what you was saying. Girl, or what? Or what? What are you going to do? Sit down before you get that forehead bust again. Now, see, that's why I couldn't do reality TV, because the way I would have gave Kay a new scar, you're not going to talk to me crazy like that. And I'm not pro-violence and all that, but at the end of the day, I'm human. You're not going to keep barking at me being aggressive, or what? So anywho, Wendy's like, I said it. I said that the energy is different. You got mad at me because I questioned your tone on what you had said before. But this one just over here straight up said you're catfishing. You don't look like how you look on social media. And they say whatever they want to say to you. Everyone else can say anything. But for some reason, you attack me, or you feel more, you feel like you need to go there with me for some reason. And Angel's like, oh, well, I can do what I want. I can have whatever type of energy I want to have with whoever. And then Wendy's like, yeah, and you do. But I'm just letting you know that it's noted. Like, we see it. You only come for me. And then even Giselle agrees. And Stacy's agreeing too. And I'm like, why don't you guys get this? Like, y'all look dumb. You and Kay look dumb. Wendy is clocking you guys. This is when the professor came to class. Wendy just taught you guys, hey, we see you. This is breaking the fourth wall. Everyone's going to see you for who you are. You are targeting me for some reason. You are losing the plot, okay? That's what Wendy was basically clocking them. But Angel is so oblivious. Maybe it's the mommy brain. Maybe it's because she's new to the show. I don't know. She didn't catch it. I think Kay started to catch it because Wendy said that speaks on how both of you are, both of your characters. Kay was just sitting there like, oh, okay, well, just looking dumb. Kind of like how Mia used to look when Mia would get, checked. Kay knows she's checked, but Angel's so oblivious, she doesn't even realize what's going on. Now, next, Wendy asks Giselle, hey, what's going on with you and Stacy? Because, I noticed that you left beautiful gifts and robes and custom things for everyone except for Stacy. And Giselle's like, oh, well, I don't really know Stacy. And then Stacy's like, oh, well, I find it funny how you want to hold me accountable and you're saying that you don't know me and this and that, whoop de woo. But no one knew that you had a boyfriend. So Stacy shows a picture of Giselle on a date with an ex-football player. And now Giselle is like, okay, well, that's just a date. That's not a boyfriend. It kind of flopped. Stacy, I appreciate you trying to fight back with Giselle, but it kind of was a flop. I mean, I don't think that's her boyfriend. I think, to be honest, I think Giselle dates a lot of people, but she's never going to bring them on the show because she knows that she's ripped apart people's relationships and talked a lot of trash, and she don't want that karma back on her. And also that one guy who had her feelings, y'all remember Sherman from a long time ago? Both of the guys that she took shit serious between Sherman and going back with her ex-husband Jamal, they have embarrassed her on the show. So Giselle's not going to look stupid again for nobody. You can tell. She's not the vulnerable type with her feelings. So Giselle's like, whatever. Ashley decides to, be Robin 2.0, trying to have Giselle's back. Ashley's like, oh, well, raise your hand if you ever dated an NFL player. Now, pretty much everyone raises their hand, except for Wendy, of course. Y'all know Wendy only been with Happy Eddie. And they're like, oh, well, Stacey, are you going to raise your hand? And Ashley's like, yeah, because you've been trying to talk to Chris Samuels. And now it's like a cliffhanger. Wendy's over here screaming like, you were talking to Chris Samuels? And Jazzy's shocked and everyone's like, oh, like, I don't even know how that's even tea though, because we don't know if it's true for one, but for two, at the end of the day, Monique and Stacy are not friends. And what, Monique and Chris divorced like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I mean, that's done. They're not together. That's not juicy tea. If she wants to date, she can date. It's not a big deal. You need to worry about who Michael was dating when you were married. But that's it, guys. This review was juicy. This show, juicy. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Meet me in the comments because y'all know we got to talk about it. Y'all stay safe and be drama free. This show is it's full of drama, but your real life should not reflect it. So when you're in the comments and you think about saying something negative, just think to yourself, wow, I'm really miserable. Peace, guys.